ERC, quality service since 1972, repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Monday, the 5th day of January, 2009. James Spann here, and a lot to talk about, so let's just get right to it. Skycam images. Birmingham, we are north of that surface boundary. The boundary seems to be really somewhere, say, between Goodwater and Prattville. And accordingly, we are cloudy and cool with readings in the upper 50s this afternoon. And Demopolis in the cool air. Demopolis showing 55 down in Marengo County with a cloudy sky. The warm air just south of there, though. In fact, you go down to Gulf Shores, and they are way up around 70 with dew points in the mid to upper 60s. And that air will be moving northward tomorrow. How far north will it go? Will we have severe weather tomorrow evening? Those are big questions we'll address as we go along. First off, the surface chart around the nation this afternoon. There's the front, and you can see this graphic has it identified from roughly Anniston down to about Grove Hill and Thomasville down in southwest Alabama. And you can see we are clearly north of that boundary. It's totally stopped. It's parallel to the upper air wind flow, and that's going to gradually back up tonight as a warm front. Heaviest rain should be along and north of that boundary. And again, there's a look at the upper airflow, and you can see the subtropical jet stream screaming in. The old Pineapple Express, that's one of the ingredients involved in the potential for strong storms tomorrow evening. But certainly with an upper air pattern like that, that front's not going to go any farther south. And again, all of the elements are in place for that thing to back up. Now, temperatures around the nation. Up on the Canadian border at mid-afternoon, early afternoon, we've got readings around 15 below zero. Ouch. And look at all of the cold air out in Texas. Dallas-Fort Worth sitting at 30 degrees. You got Wichita Falls in the upper 20s. There's icing issues out there. And around Alabama, again, you can pick out that front. Look at Alexander City at 68, Birmingham at 56. Seems like the front is running from near, say, Jacksonville. And even between Anniston and Gadsden, you got a 12-degree swing. The front from near Jacksonville down to about Prattville and Selma and Grove Hill. South of the line, you got 60s, some folks approaching 70. North of that line, Muscle Shoals at 42. But again, the boundary will slowly move north tonight, and heavy rain will likely develop along and north of that boundary. Here's our watch warning map this afternoon. And again, a lot of stuff happening there. In Texas, a freezing rain advisory. And from looking at that thing, it looks like the Dallas-Fort Worth area just sitting maybe a little outside of that. The main issue seems to be just a little north and west of Dallas, maybe including Tarrant County around Fort Worth, down towards Stephenville, then back up toward the Red River. Also, we've got winter weather advisories for parts of Arkansas, western Tennessee, that includes Memphis, all the way down almost to the northwest corner of Alabama, where there's some icing and sleet issues. And then to the south of that, a flash flood watch for a large part of Mississippi, the Tennessee Valley of North Alabama, and a large chunk of middle and eastern Tennessee. Yeah, can you imagine if we had some Arctic air going on here with that kind of precipitation? Some folks up there could really be soaked. In fact, we'll look at the QPF chart. 4.5 inches of rain. Yeah, multiply that times 10. 45 inches of snow, huh? That's not going to happen. It's going to be rain, and again, that's where the flash flood watch is in effect. And really, these model runs, the 12Z runs, have come in a little farther south with that warm front boundary, which does a couple of things. It lessens the chance of severe weather for, say, Birmingham, and really increases our chance of heavy rain. So we'll monitor the position of that front, but for the moment, we'll maintain the better chance of any flooding rains up over the Tennessee Valley. Convective outlooks, day one. For the rest of today and tonight, there's no formal risk. A general thunderstorm area there from eastern Texas through a large part of Alabama. But on day two, there's the slight risk. And again, based on the 12Z model runs, the guys in Norman have shifted that a bit to the south, and it's now basically south of Birmingham, or south of Interstate 20. And that would include places like Clanton and Demopolis and Anniston, Dothan, Montgomery, and Mobile, and of course we'll be discussing that in full detail as we go. This is the 12Z GFS, valid at noon tomorrow, noon Tuesday, at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. And you can see the very deep trough approaching from the west. Down below that, the heaviest rain axis is really on top of us. And that's suggesting that maybe for Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden, this thing is more of a heavy rain deal with the better chance of severe weather and the destabilization down to the south of here. We'll go to midnight tomorrow night. The trough is very close. Very good dynamics come into play. And again, at some point in there, we could see a severe weather issue. But as usual, in January, the big thing that's lacking is the instability. This is the projected surface-based CAPE, convective available potential energy, valid tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. And you can see just a little sliver of positive CAPE ahead of that front, running from near Mobile and Chatham and Jackson, Alabama, back up toward Wadowee. So that certainly doesn't bode well for a big severe weather outbreak. Now, the helicity values are pretty good. This is 0 to 3 kilometer helicity, and I know the numbers are kind of packed in there, but that's suggesting the number is almost off the chart. Looks like a bullseye of 1,000 in there. That would be almost enough to disrupt any updraft. But with a highly sheared environment, you have to watch whatever happens tomorrow evening. As we always say here, when it comes to thunderstorms, expect the unexpected. So with anything like this, we have to be on our toes. But again, it's your classic winter, low instability, high shear type deal. Wednesday, the trough rotates through here, and down below that, it's going to turn cold. We might drop into the 40s and kind of sit there all day, and maybe some hint of drizzle or flurries in the backside of that thing Wednesday morning. And then Thursday, all of that's gone. It should be a cool and dry day Thursday, and Friday looks nice. We'll probably see highs close to 60 on Friday with a sunny sky. Saturday, starting off the weekend, a little surface boundary drops in here with a chance of showers, no big rain event. And then Sunday, a new surge of cool, dry air. That looks very seasonal right there. Highs in the 50s and lows at or below freezing. Now, Monday of next week, this is the week we think we could get real cold here. Note the strong short wave riding down that polar jet, and then it sharpens up the trough on Tuesday. This is a week from tomorrow. And the gates to the Yukon open, if this is right. And yeah, we see that messy scene there. This is the morning of Tuesday of next week, suggesting the possibility of heavy snow, maybe up on the northern periphery of all that for parts of North Alabama. And then by 6 o'clock that evening, the rain-snow line goes all the way down to near Pensacola, with everything winding down. And there's been good consistency out here. I mean, you know, the NAO going negative, the Arctic Express, the storm, it's all been there. And again, let's get through this thing tomorrow night, then we'll really focus on that. But instead of focusing on any winter storm threat, we want you to just think cold next week. And then on Wednesday the 14th, very, very cold pattern over much of the east. And again, that's a 1,048 millibar high coming down from Canada. And that could be pretty cold. So again, next week, think cold, maybe some wintry precipitation. We'll see. But at the end of the cycle on the 21st of January, the NAO flips and things warm up again. It's a moderating trend. There's a short wave coming through, but by then, it's all rain at that point. So interesting days ahead, as we always have here in January. We'll watch them carefully. That's it for the Weather Xtreme video this afternoon. We'll have notes on the blog. That's AlabamaWX.com. If you're watching this on YouTube or iTunes. The next video here by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, and we invite you to watch us on television this evening if you're local to us. That's ABC 3340 in Birmingham at 5, 6, and 10. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful evening, and God bless.